Hello everyone and welcome to lecture 2 of AP Microeconomics. Today we're going to talk about opportunity costs and the production possibility frontier. First, let's get into the definition of what an opportunity cost is. Opportunity cost is the cost of an alternative action when a certain action is pursued. So I've come up with an example here so we can measure the cost of the alternative action in terms of dollars. So the example we're going to use is you can either do a leisure activity, such as watching TV, or you can do a labor activity such as working a job. Now, if you watch TV for 4 hours, you don't get paid any money for watching TV. And if you go work a job, let's assume that you're making $9 an hour, you make a total of $36 of income. So your opportunity cost is the cost of working minus the cost of watching TV. So your opportunity cost to watch TV is $36. So the cost of the alternative is going to work, which is positive $36 when a certain action is pursued, watching TV. So now I'd like to go into a further example. Let's assume that you've already worked 40 hours this week and you get paid overtime, time and a half, when you are finished working your 40-hour work week, and you are now going to choose between watching TV or working. So again, you watch TV for 4 hours, you get paid nothing. That amounts to $0. You work for 4 hours and now your new wage at time and a half is $13.50. So you get paid $54. So the opportunity cost is the cost of the alternative, $54 of benefit, minus the action pursued, watching TV, is an opportunity cost of $54 to watch TV. So the opportunity cost of working overtime is higher than the opportunity cost of working, quote, normal time. Employers are going to give you increased pay to give up your normal leisure time that you had scheduled. Most people schedule a 40-hour work week for themselves, and they want an extra incentive to give up that leisure time that they had scheduled for themselves. So employers invented time and a half overtime pay to give an incentive for them to work longer hours or stay longer or work an extra day. Some other examples that I could think of for opportunity costs are whether you would like to read a book or play a sport, watch TV or go to bed earlier, sleep in or wake up early and eat breakfast, do cardio versus lift weights. You could buy a car versus go on vacation. If you had to choose an elective and you wanted to choose choir or band. If you were a farmer and you wanted to choose between planting corn or planting wheat. Something from our first lecture, you could choose to go to college or go out into the workforce. And an interesting economic analysis to do, you could rent an apartment versus buy a home. So these are all examples of opportunity costs, and if you have other examples, please leave them down in the comments below for other people to have more examples. Now I'd like to move on to the production possibility frontier. A production possibility frontier is the maximum amount of output possible for two goods given a fixed set of inputs, meaning we're going to assume that our land, labor, and capital are all fixed and we cannot change that. All outputs along the production possibility frontier curve assume that the inputs are being used efficiently. So we've got two examples. Please pay attention to the example on the left for the time being. So we're going to assume that we're studying Maine's farm production, and Maine can choose between producing potatoes and blueberries. But Maine has a lot of laborers and they don't have a whole lot of machinery and equipment. So we're going to assume that the amount of labor is high and the amount of capital is low. We can see that we can produce a lot of blueberries if we choose to not produce a lot of potatoes. If we look down here at P2, B2, we can get 69 tons of blueberries and 1 ton of potatoes. Now, if we decide that we want to increase our potato production up here to P1, B1, we're only going to get 7 more tons of potatoes, and we're going to lose out on 45 tons of blueberries. So that's a big drop off in blueberries, and as you can see, we probably want to be producing more blueberries rather than the potatoes since we can get a lot more tons of blueberries. Now, if there was a high amount of capital and a low amount of labor, it would probably be more efficient for Maine to produce potatoes rather than blueberries. But in this instance right here, I assumed that there was a low amount of capital and a high amount of labor, and that's why it's more efficient to produce blueberries. So there's a trade-off there. Now, if we look over here at Portland, Oregon concerts, the concert venue can host a concert. And if it hosts a concert for a DJ, the trade-off is that it cannot host a concert for a pop singer. Now, there's no efficiency advantages like we had with the blueberries and potatoes in Maine. So it's a one-to-one trade-off here, which is why the line is straight. We can have a total of 10 concerts, and we need to choose how we're going to distribute them between DJ and pop singer. So if we have 9 DJ concerts here at DJ1 PS1, we're only going to have 1 pop singer. Or we can go all the way down and have 9 pop singer concerts and 1 DJ concert. We're going to have a total of 10 concerts regardless of where we are on the production possibility curve. That would be using our venue efficiently. So just to wrap up the production possibility frontier example, I made this graph here. When we have a total production of 2 goods, X1 and X2, along this red line here is possible and efficient. This is assuming that we're using all of our resources efficiently. If we are somewhere in here, inside this yellow area, it's possible to produce that amount of X1 and X2, but it's inefficient because if I were here, you could see that I could work harder and produce more X1 out to here, or if we were here, I could work harder and produce more of X2 if we were using our outputs efficiently. This is the maximum amount of production possible, and it's efficient to be on this line because then everything is being used to its maximum capacity. Now out here in this purple shaded area, this is all not possible or impossible. This is assuming we're using everything efficiently, so if we're using everything efficiently, we can't push it past that capacity unless something were to happen to give us more efficiency, such as better technology, which might shift our production possibility frontier curve out, and then we can produce more of X1 and X2. Once again, inside the yellow here is possible, but it's inefficient. It's inefficiently using either our land, labor, or our capital. On the red line, all of our land, labor, and capital is being used efficiently, and we can reach a maximum level of production. And out here in the purple is not possible because we're already using everything efficiently, being on the red line, and we would need some sort of improvement to something to be able to increase our efficiency for any of our land, labor, or capital. So that's it for lecture number 2. Hope you come back and subscribe. Again, if you have any specific questions about your microeconomics course, please post them in the comments or leave me a message, and I will make a video for you answering your questions. Thanks a lot. You'll see me again soon.